Blackman might even take that pitch,
Yep.
which he certainly can do.
Well, now with one away, Hernandez trying to pick him up. Dykstra at second in the fifth inning, 4-1 Mets. On deck, Gary Carter. Hernandez singled to center and grounded to Buckner. When he grounded in the second inning, it was a little surprising. We're expecting Hernandez to hit like Boggs, in the sense take the outside pitch and go the other way with it here. He tried to pull it and just hit a little ground ball. 0-1. Jim Rice is pinching the middle, as is Dwight Evans in right. So they're giving Hernandez the lines in left and right. Dykstra, good runner at second base. Ball 2.
Henderson in center field is straight away. Hernandez uses the whole ballpark, but with 2 balls and no strikes, he can have himself a pretty good cut.
In there. Probably the hardest swing Hernandez took in the series was that out to Dwight Evans right down the right field line at Shea Stadium. He was going for the downs that time. But now they count 2 balls and 1 strike. Way out in front of him. 2-2.
Can change speeds, and Hernandez out in front. You knew it.
1 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Dykstra at second. And he drives it to right. Evans going back as Dykstra tags. Dwight for the catch, and Dykstra will advance to third as Barrett runs the ball back to the infield and flips it to Spike Owen. So if nothing else, Hernandez got his man to third. Now it's up to Carter to pick him up with 2 out. And on deck, Darryl Strawberry. Carter doubled to drive in a run, then fly to center.
Gary Carter, the catcher. Carter.
4 runs, 6 hits for the Mets. 1 run, 3 hits for the Sox. We're in the fifth with 2 out. Lenny Dykstra on the bag at third. Out in front of an off-speed pitch and fouls it into the crowd behind the dugout. 0-1. Carter has been a big RBI man for Davy Johnson and his crew all year long. Picked up an RBI, his second of the World Series, when he doubled in a run in the first inning. Now he has a chance to pick up his third.
Again, curveball.
Dykstra bluffing down the line, and the curve is popped up, and going out to get it on the grass is Spike Owen, and that's that. The Mets lead Dykstra at third, and at the end of 4.5 innings, the Mets 4 and the Red Sox 1.
It's a curveball that gets Carter, and it was just a weak pop fly, but just watch his reaction.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Red Sox remind you, beer is not sold in Fenway Park after the 7th inning. Thank you.
Wasn't that something?
That'll cause you to do it.
Yep. Slow curveball, and you pop it up, and we go to the bottom of the fifth. 4-1 Mets with Henderson, Owen, and Boggs in that order. You know, when the series started, we talked about the fact that the Red Sox and the Mets, in a sense, shared one thing, the common rivalry with the Yankees, and it has not been forgotten in Boston. There was a sign here at Fenway Park. It said, Sox 2, Mets nothing. Yankees, no game today. Henderson single to left field in the third inning. And do 1 for 1.
He's a perfect example of what that wall will ask you if you make a mistake. He likes that ball up, out, away from him. You have to get it inside, because if you get it up and away, look out.
On the corner as he throws that off-speed pitch. And the count 1-1. Bobby Ojeda
pitch him way down off speed. Don't let him get those big arms out there.
2-1. Oh, what a great pitch. Wow.
I think he had a string attached to that one, just yanked it back.
2-2 to Dave Henderson. Take another look at it.
You can see him as he grips it. Just off speed, he is way out in front.
And another one. You talk about trying to defuse a bomb. That's what Bobby Ojeda does. He stands out there and throws change after change. If he makes a mistake, he gets killed. Instead, he picks up his 4th strikeout.
The oversimplification of pitching is to keep the hitter off stride, and there was the classic example.
The Reds, a very good team in the National League, very good hitting team. He struck out 10 in a game against them. Here's Spike Owen, who might be the kind of hitter who doesn't figure to strike out against an off-speed pitcher because he is not a big hacker, and he lined out to third in the 3rd inning. Right. Spike followed by Wade Boggs. And he just showed him that he does have a fastball. A little rib job, and the count 1-1.
And you see where he put it. He put it inside as if to send a message that I'm not afraid to come in there.
1 ball, 1 strike. Ball 2, 2-1. As straight away as you can get. Fastball hit to the right side, smothered by Backman, who throws him out. That's strictly going to dirt and get it.
Davey Johnson really likes Backman. I'll tell you, he says the chemistry and the drive that the Backman has just goes right off the Richter scale. Put it together and you got yourself a pretty good second baseman, and you just saw it there.
You know, when you said Davey Johnson liked him, no one in the Mets organization was that fond of his abilities except Backman, who played for Davey Johnson at Tidewater. So when Davey got the job with the Mets, he knew about Backman's abilities, and of course Backman became a star. Here's Wade Boggs. Fastball. Wow, started him right off. Surprised him for a strike.
Boggs hasn't swung at the first pitch yet, so why not try it? And he's ahead of him, although it doesn't mean much with him. 2-2 is his favorite count, Wade Boggs.
0-1. And he lines it the other way.
That's his strategy from the speaker to the left field line, and I tell you, he can really handle that bat.
So Boggs singles to left. He's 1 for 2, and that'll bring up Marty Barrett. Take another look at it.
Inside out, he's going all the way. There you see it.
Boy, what a hit.
A magician. He in at Mattingly or something.
Now Marty Barrett hit back to the box in the 1st inning, and as he has done so often in the series, gone the other way and single to right.
He's got a big hole between 1st and 2nd with Boggs on at 1st.
His single to right scored Henderson from 2nd base for the only Sox run in the 3rd inning. Strike. That's Ojeda's plan, trying all night to stay ahead of the hitters. No balls, 1 strike. On deck, Bill Buckner. Exhaustion, I think, on the way to the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And did you see how Gary Carter caught that ball? He caught it with the face of the glove on facing the ground. I mean, not coming up. There's the grip. Across the seams means a high riding fastball. That's a change of pace thing.
If he stays with that grip.
Yeah.
1-1. He did. Ball 2, 2-1. A pitcher like Ojeda, all you can think of, and Davey Johnson must think of it once in a while, a high wire act in a windstorm. Can he possibly make it to the other side?
Ojeda with his changeup is just barely making the speed limit. He's 65 miles an hour.
2-1.
Over it.
Change in there. So deuce is wild on Marty Barrett with Bob runners at first. 4-1 Mets. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning.
The radar gun with the smile said 62 miles. I think Carter was 55 throwing it back.
2-2. Time.
He just about didn't make it. You could see the confusion. Wendelstedt's going to talk to him about it. He said, "Why are you just taking too much time?" And Barrett apologizing to it.
Yeah, the rules say that the umpire does not have to call time at all when a pitcher is in his delivery. And you see Ojeda was in his delivery. However, an umpire is always worried that if the hitter begs for time and winds up getting hit in the head, it would be a disaster. So he let Barrett get away with it, but he doesn't have to, not that late. Ball 3. Now, of course, with a full count, Carter pointing, reminding him. Buckner's on deck, and the fact that Boggs will be going at first, Hernandez back and off the bag. Big pitch. Buckner on deck would be the possible tying run. Runner goes, shot up the middle, base hit. Boggs will hold as Dykstra throws back of him to Backman. So the Red Sox are in business with 2 out. Boggs and Barrett single, and here comes Buckner.
Barrett is one of those guys, as we look at Stottlemyre, Barrett just keeps the inning alive. Nothing flashy, just dependable, and how valuable a player like that can be, because now you got your 3rd, 4th, and 5th place hitters up there, and that's how you score the runs.
And as you can see, Buckner was equal to the challenge behind Jim Rice. And the Sox can manufacture runs in a hurry, and he had the opportunity. Boggs at second, Barrett at first, 2 out. Buckner flied to right pretty deep and struck out. Ojeda facing his 3rd challenge of the night. Remember the Baylor double in the 2nd inning, the 2 singles and a walk for a run in the 3rd, and now back-to-back singles here in the 5th. Starts him with a breaking ball for a strike. And of course, as you look at this inning, remember the ball that Spike Owen hit. Wally Backman making that diving, smothering stop, or else Ojeda would have given up 3 consecutive hits. Fastball, and he was late on it. Santana to Backman for the 4th. Buckner never got around on it, and the hitters are being lulled by the changeup, and the fastball is leaving them at the platform. 4-1 New York.
I want to be a part of everything, and I want Davey Johnson to turn to me in those crucial times as he's done all year. And I feel like I'm the guy to come through with a big hit when they need it, and you know, I have confidence in my ability to do that. So when you come down to making out a lineup, I like to think that he thinks of my name, and obviously the matchup was good for Hojo and Danny Heap, because they are good fastball hitters. But nonetheless, it hurt my feelings simply because I feel that I'm a fastball hitter too, and we've won with me all year, and I was just disappointed I wasn't a part of it.
Here's Darryl Strawberry. Talk about disappointed, and he lifts a fly ball into left center, and Dave Henderson is there. 1 away. You know, Ray Knight talking about not being in the lineup as he comes up to the plate, but let's go back a little bit. Remember, it was the 4th inning. The Red Sox were leading 4-2. Danny Heap walked, and Johnson hit a ball that I would say 90% of the time is a home run into the Mets bullpen, and it would have tied up the game. Then all of a sudden, Johnson's move would have been remarkable. Shot foul, and that'll send them scurrying in the far end of the dugout, not to mention what it'll do to a cameraman, but he's big enough to take it.
Dangerous territory when they get that ball inside, or they're going to try to pull that ball against the wall. That was an off-speed pitch, and Ray Knight just went out and got it, and he just jerked it right to the left side.
Knight, the board on a fielder's choice, and popped up, but the fielder's choice is a big part of the ballgame. Little roller down to shortstop, backhanded by Owen, almost threw it away. Good play by Billy Buck.
There was the perfect pitch, Vin, that the hitter really should stay away from if he's going to try to pull it against the wall low outside. You cannot pull that pitch. Now, he's got plenty of time here, and he just throws it badly, but it was a routine ground ball.
25.
Buckner makes a nice play, dancing over in the foul territory.
So with 2 out here in the 6th inning, Danny Heap will be coming up. Take another look at Owens' throw. It just was a sailor. Buckner able to handle it and at the same time get out of the way of Knight. Remember when Knight hit the ground ball to Boggs, and the Sox should have gotten at least 1 and instead messed up the rundown, and the bases were loaded. And then Heap singled to drive in 2 runs. That's the biggest single play of the night. Last time up, he flied to center in the 4th. 0-2, 2-0. Dennis Oil Can Boyd. Boy, what a story he's been here in Boston. Off the end of the bat, little fly ball to right, and Evans comes up for it. So the Mets tiptoe quietly in the 6th inning. 6 in a row retired by the Can, and at the end of 5 1/2, 4-1 Mets. An interesting contrast in styles has developed as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Oil Can Boyd, you remember, had a bad first inning. He has retired 17 of the last 18 batters that he has faced since his troubles. Meanwhile, Ojeda had a 1-2-3 first inning and has been in some trouble every inning but the 4th. So the Can has settled down. Now it's a question of whether the Sox can catch Ojeda. Jim Rice, Don Baylor, and Dwight Evans in that order. Rice struck out, called out on a 3-2 pitch, and that was followed by Baylor's double. That was a big call. 0-1. Last time up, he hit into a force play at short. That was in the 3rd inning. He led the Sox in home runs here at Fenway. He hit 10 here this year. 0-2. Fouled away. A little late on the fastball. He didn't have a good hack at it, and it goes up on the roof.
Well, his hitting theory is pretty simple. I see the ball, I react. If you've got good reflexes, you don't need philosophy.
And with 10 home runs at Fenway, he's proven his point. 2-1 to Jim.
Those are messages, and the good pitcher does that. He backs him right off the plate. That sets up his off-speed pitches.
3-1. And he missed. So another Red Sox runner gets aboard as Rice opens up the 6th inning with a walk. Johnson knows he barely got out of the 5th inning without giving up a run. As we said, the play by Backman followed by 2 singles. Now Rice walks, and here's Baylor, who doubled and grounded to short. 4-1 Mets. But it's a bumpy ride for Bobby Ojeda here in the 6th. 0-1. The change is not coming to strikes now.
You can see he doesn't have much of a target inside because Baylor hovers over that plate and strong enough to pull that pitch outside against that left field wall. Look how close he is to that plate. He's daring you.
Fastball for a strike.
Well, that's threatening the needle right there. I mean, low outside, perfect pitch.
Baylor on top of the plate, #1, because he doesn't like the ball inside. That's why he gets hit so much. He wants you to get it away from him. And that's fisted in the air. A little blooper to Santana, and Knight takes it away from him. A little lack of communication there.
24.
Ojeda came inside with his fastball, not known as a fastball pitcher, and he was able to jam Baylor, and looks like Santana's going to make the play, and Knight says, oh, I'll take it as long as I'm here.
So 1 away. Rice still at first, and Dwight Evans will be coming up. Valet and a bump. Evans grounded to short, and remember last time up in the 4th inning, chopped the ball out in front of the plate. Killed a few worms, and then Carter threw him out. Standing at first, Started him with a change and got it over this time. 0-1.
Has a ritual. He'll look at Evans to see if he's in the same spot, and then he'll look up to see if he's sneaking a look, and then down the first base line. There he is looking up. There he is down the first base line.
And Evans asking for time again, just as Ojeda was ready to deliver. They're really giving him a bad time that way. Marty Barrett did it and then singled. 1-1. That's okay to ask for time now, but that's twice the Red Sox have gotten away with bending the rule. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fastball, and it's hit foul off to the right. Very doubtful. It will be well back into the stand. 1-2.
Here's what we mean about Gary Carter behind that plate, just checking everywhere. There you see him looking down the first base line. Now he's checking Evans. Back to first.
1-2 the count. 1 out. Hit in the air, foul, slicing down the right field line, and that figures to go well back into the stand. You know, if you're a hitter, you have to love Fenway, and never mind the wall, never mind the dimensions down the line. Outside of around home plate, there's hardly any foul ground at all here. So, of course, you can foul balls that in a lot of other ballparks will be caught. And here you get a bunch of extra swings over the course of a game or a year.
He'd been changing speeds on Evans, had him off stride almost on every pitch. This will be an interesting one coming up here. He's got him set up for whatever he wants to do.
1-2. And he gave him the changeup, and Dewey is way out in front of it. Boy, that is something. That's 5 strikeouts for Bobby Ojeda.
He changed speeds on him, and with 2 strikes he could have gone anyway. Fastball up and in, or do what he did right here. And Dewey trying to protect that plate. He got it in a great spot.
Interesting watching Ojeda. It's not as if he fakes you with his head or his shoulder. It must have something to do with the arm speed and the stride, where you have to think it's coming harder than it is. He starts getting with a breaking ball.
There's no question about that. And he also, the rhythm with which he pitches, that's what's causing Barrett to back out and Evans to back out. He's not getting the ball pitch, get the ball pitch, get the ball pitch. He's varying it.
1-0. On the hands with a fastball. It's hit high and foul. Coming over is Carter and Hernandez. No play.
Carter's coming over. He thinks he has a play, and the wind's swirling here. He finds himself. You saw him look for the stands. He knows how much room he has. Still looking, and then Hernandez comes over. And he kind of gave it one of those attempts, hoping it was there.
You know, I was wondering about a catcher, and I realize that you call it, so you shouldn't be fooled on a change. But the hitter is way out in front. Do you ever find yourself, when you were catching a guy through changes, you were lunging at the ball sometimes?
Only if he did it on his own. And then you go out and talk to him, because that messes up the infielders. No, you should never be fooled.
1 ball and 1 strike to Rich Gedman. Curveball. Oh, did he break off a deuce? Years ago, Roy Campanella called that public enemy #1, and that has imprisoned more hitters than anything you'd ever want to look at. Look at this snake.
And he also took something off. I mean, that's not as good a curveball as oil cans as far as breaking down, but the off speed, the way he changes speeds, and again, he's got him set up perfectly.
Another curve, and they're going to check at third. No swing, and an emphatic call by Dale Ford. I mean, he was going to let everybody in the state know. I think he was a little bit annoyed that Carter would even ask.
I don't know.
I would ask.
I would ask. I mean, it was almost like he wanted some TV time.
2-2. In the dirt, the curveball goes behind Carter, and moving to second base is Rice. Carter instinctively waving with his hand as he went back after the ball, telling Knight to go to third and waking up Ojeda as well. Watch it.
And curveball just got right on by him. Looked like he started to shift. He didn't get his body in front of it, but he did have the glove there, and it was just a 55-footer.
Now here's a big pitch, 3-2 on deck. Dave Henderson. Curveball got him looking. Gedman doesn't believe it, but it got him. And it is 4-1 Mets at the end of 6. We'll be right back after these messages from your local station.
Here's Gedman taking the pitch, and give Ojeda credit, curveball, and of course Gedman, that ball was outside.
And down, and then he winds up saying fertilizer. And Mookie Wilson, it's a high foul ball down the right field line. Buckner with Barrett behind him. It's Buckner. One out in the 7th inning, and Rafael Santana coming up. Oil Can Boyd has now retired 18 of his last 19 batters, but he was touched up and roughed up for a 4-run first inning, and it's 4-1 New York in the 7th. Santana hit into a force play, grounded to third, 0 for 2.
3, Rafael Santana, shortstop.
Santana had 2 hits Sunday against Roger Clemens. He came into the postseason really sharpened up. He had a very quiet bat all year, and he hit about 280 the last month or so. 0-1. Flying open. 0-2. Oil Can Boyd. One of the great quotes of the year was in May when the Red Sox had a game fogged out in Cleveland. He said, "What do you expect when you build a stadium by the ocean?" So he wasn't a geography major at Jackson State. Up the middle for a base hit on an 0-2 pitch. So a 1-out single to center by Santana. And it'll bring up Len Dykstra. Friends, we'd like to remind you once again, we'll be selecting the NBC Miller Lite Player of the Game at the conclusion of the ballgame. At 7 hits off the can. Lenny Dykstra homered in the first inning to right, grounded out in the second, and singled to left in the 5th, and they left him at third. So Dykstra 2 for 3 with Wally Backman on deck. Buckner is looking bunt. Boggs has to look bunt. He's in on the grass at third.
I'd look for a play more than I would a bunt.
Maybe hit and run right now.
Yes, sir.
1 ball and no strikes.
In fact, I think I'd pitch out.
1-1. Every now and then, Davy Johnson goes wild because he thinks Dykstra is taking a home run swing. Of course, the home run was a big one in the league championship series, and he hit a home run in the first inning. But I'm sure Bill Robinson and Davy constantly saying to Dykstra, "Hey, little man, you're not up there to hit a home run." He took a home run swing on that pitch. 1-1. And there's the bunt we thought about. Strike 2.
Davey might have put that on after he took that big swing.
Maybe. He said, "Hold it." John McNamara enjoying the fruits of his labors so far this year. One and 2 to Lenny Dykstra. Now with 2 strikes, Boggs is sure Dykstra wouldn't try to bunt. He goes back to a normal depth. Buckner holding the corner on Santana. And he whacks it into right field. Base hit. Santana to second, Evans with the good arm, and Santana will not test him.
I love when outfielders do that too. They see that runner go back, so they throw it to shortstop, and the runner just happens to be in the vicinity. He's got to go down. It's almost like an outfielder's knockdown pitch.
Throw it right at his head. So first and second. Watch this now. Watch him take dead aim at Santana.
The Santana's just standing there. You better get down. That's just a little message, friendly message.
Well, now Wally Backman comes up with 2 on and 1 out in the 7th. 4-1 New York. Joe Sambito and Bob Stanley begin to loosen up in the Red Sox bullpen. Backman single, struck out, and grounded out. Strike.
Backman's hitting theory is very simple. He tries to take the fastball over the shortstop's head. As we look at Stanley and Sambito, the left-hander. And he is taking the fastball over the shortstop's head. If he is a little bit early, it's right up the middle where there's the most room.
Boyd has not walked a batter tonight. He's in a little trouble here, however. 2 on, 1 out. Good. And Backman way out in front of that one. Remember now, the hit was 0-2 to Santana. So maybe his control was a little too good in those sequences of pitches. Then Dykstra singled. Now he has Backman 0-2. On deck, Keith Hernandez. Little fly ball to shallow left. Rice has a play. So the runners hold. In talking about Boyd, control, of course, is one of the mainstays of his work. He walked more than 2 in a game only 3 times this year. So he's throwing strikes. Still no walks tonight, and now he goes head-to-head with a man who walks a lot, Keith Hernandez. Hernandez singled to center, grounded to Buckner, and flied to right. Two on, 2 out. 7th inning, 4-1 New York. Looking ahead for the Sox, they'll have Henderson, Owen, and Boggs in the bottom of the 7th. Started him fastball away, ball 1, 1-0. Two balls and no strikes to count to Keith Hernandez. Rafael Santana at second. Lenny Dykstra at first. 2 out in the 7th. 4-1 New York.
This is when you get in trouble. A hitter like Hernandez, who's got that great concentration, 2 balls and no strikes, he'll look for a particular pitch in a particular spot.
Two and 0. Remember where we showed you Buddy Harrelson was coaching from earlier, where he was beyond the coaching box? Now he's in front of the box, because if Hernandez hits the ball down the right field line, then Harrelson will come way down the line to shepherd the runners. If there's a ball hit to left field, then he really has to make a decision with Santana. The fact that Rice can charge and come up throwing. 2-0, the count to Keith Hernandez. Ball 3. Spike Owen trying to bird dog Santana with a left-hand hitter up. The shortstop is right behind Santana prior to the pitch. Carter on deck.
3-0 in Shea Stadium. They gave Hernandez the green light. You can bet that if he got it there, he's got it here. So it's up to him if he wants to whack at this one.
With 94 walks, you don't figure he'd chase a bad one. And he won't, and walks to load him up. So Gary Carter will come up with the bases loaded. 2 out in the 7th inning with the Mets leading 4.